Okay, question 6. Write a fraction and a decimal that represent the part of the grid that is green. So looking, I see that this is a hundreds block that is partly colored in. So my fraction is going to have a denominator of 100. My decimal is going to have 2 columns after the decimal place because I need to not end in the tenths but the hundredths. All right, so I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 1, 2, 3. 63 hundredths, which is the same as this. You don't actually need to write that it's equal, but this is the fraction, this is the decimal. For these comparisons, you have to write them one on top of the other. If you don't, you might still get them right, but you are much more likely to make a mistake, right? Like here, if you don't line up these decimal places, you might not see that this is actually greater than this. 74 is greater than 7, so this is wrong. Well, I should bubble it in, okay? I'm not going to do all of them that way just for the speed of the video, but you absolutely need to on the test. 1 whole and 1 whole. 2 is less than 4. This is correct. 1 and 24 hundredths is less than 1 and 42 hundredths. Looking here, 58 is greater than 48. I know that this is true. And 138.5 is not less than 13.85. Make sure you're writing these one on top of the other, and make sure you're lining up the decimal. All right, write the decimal that best describes the point R on the number line. So I see 40 and 41. It's really important to identify these whole numbers so that you can figure out how many spaces there are between them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So my denominator is tenths, which I see here. 40 and 1/10, 40 and 2/10, 40 and 3/10, 40 and 4/10, 40 and 5/10, 40 and 6/10. Now it says write the decimal that best describes. I wrote it as a fraction because that's what I see here, but that's why you need to really carefully read. So 40 and 6/10 is 40.6, right? This is the tenths column. Tenths. So 40.6 is 40 and 6/10. Explain how to find the sum of 3/10 plus 4 1/100ths. Okay, the way we do this is we want to turn the we want to turn the fraction that has the tenths into a fraction that is into an equivalent fraction that has a denominator of 100. So to go from 3/10 to a fraction that has 1/100ths, I can multiply by 10 over 10, and I get 30 1/100ths. So I can add 30 1/100ths plus 4 1/100ths, and I get 34 1/100ths. On the test, I gave you a number line that I made so it would be a little neater for you, but without the numbers. So you need to figure out where to start your numbers. I started at 6.85 because I looked and saw 6.89 is the smallest amount, or 6 and 89 hundredths, and I wanted to have a little bit of space on my number line before, because number lines usually show before and after the number. So 6.89, 6.86, 6.87, 6.88, 6.89, that's right here, and that's A. Trail B, 6.95, I've got 6.95 on the number line already, that's B. 7.09, or 7 and 9 hundredths, that's right here before 7 and 10 hundredths. And D is 6.98. Here's 7.0, 6.99, 6.98 goes right there. That's D. I know this is a little tight, but I'm working with the space I've got. All right, 12. Phil collected 60 eggs and sold 44 of them to the local grocer. Right away, I want to put this number into a fraction. I think it's going to help me. I know there's 60 in total. He sold 44, right? Phil wrote down that he sold 44 hundredths of the eggs he collected. So he sold 44 hundredths. Well, when I see a decimal, I like to turn it into a fraction. 44 hundredths is this. He never had 100 eggs. Did he write the decimal correctly? No. He sold 44 of 60, or 44 sixtieths. 0.44 means, or 44 hundredths, means he sold 44 out of 100. He only had 60. He was incorrect.